Hey guys, Matt here with Carolina Coops, and today I can say we are finally done with this very custom coop. And what I want to do in this video is do a quick walk around. I don't have anyone here. I had to send everyone home to get ready for the next coop out in California, so I'm here by myself. So this will just be kind of a completely different walk around. I guess let's go ahead and get started. So in front of you is a custom chicken coop. It took us about 16 days to assemble on site. We had a lot of challenges, a lot of customizations. So to start off with, the overall footprint, not counting the duck house back there, is 10 by, I think 24. Oh my gosh, it's been so long I forgot. But the size of the footprint is not very important. What is important is how custom this coop is to accommodate what our customer wanted. So to start off, what you'll notice hopefully right away is the metal roofing up there, completely different. That is actually what's called a locking seam. It's based off of a very popular look called standing seam. And the whole idea behind a standing seam roof is you don't see any hardware. Well, that's all fine and dandy. It does look beautiful, but let's put it this way. It takes a lot longer to put it on. So it looks good, but it's way more expensive, way more labor intensive, but that's what the client wanted. Also, this is something I absolutely love, is the roof jogs out as it goes up. So that also caused a lot more challenges, but I'm very proud of it. I think we crushed it. It looks absolutely amazing. Also, I wanted to point out, this is just a beautiful, we're in Greenville, South Carolina. It's middle of November. It's a beautiful day, and we're out in the woods, just to kind of set the stage here. But this coop is out in the woods. And if you think about, chickens are naturally a woodland animal. So why not put their coop in the woods? It helps keep the hen house even cooler. You get the shade from the trees. But some of the disadvantages are you will get a lot of sap and leaves falling on the coop. Could cause a little bit more maintenance. But it is, if you are thinking about where do I put my coop, if you can put it in the woods and it's not too far away, I think it's ideal. But there's a lot of things to talk about as far as placement. Also, now, this area was fairly flat. We got a lot of videos when we first started. But I think it was off. It was only off 1.5 inches. It wasn't much. But the client, what I really appreciate about him is he's an engineer. He's a numbers guy. And everything that he's wanted has made a lot of sense. And also it was obviously in his budget. Down at the bottom, we have a 4x6 pressure treated base. And the number one reason why he wanted that is when it rains here, it does get very, very wet through this part of the woods. So being that it's a ground contact rated pressure treated lumber, it helps protect the main structure. Even though the entire coop's already built with pressure treated lumber on the bottom, it added as another sacrificial board, if you will, but pressure treated does last a long time. And we also added see if I can get a shot of it. And I know we took a video and got pictures of it when we first did it, but he asked us to add a vinyl barrier, which is right here. So this is pressure treated, that's pressure treated, but there's a water barrier right there to prevent wicking or capillary action. So just another thing we've never done before, but it's what the client wanted, and he's right. So also going around on the outside, where to begin? You can see all the shiplap siding. It's absolutely beautiful. It gives it a very nice modern look. And we have what we call our hen house shed combo. Now, if I remember correctly, the hen house it's 8 foot from there to there and 10 foot from there to there. And the other thing that's very important about the customizations of this coop is there's actually 2 hen houses, and we'll get a good look at that. Right here is the chicken door for the 4x4 hen house in the window. Then if we come through here, you'll see the other side where we have the 4x6 hen house. So there are 2 hen houses in one. And the primary reason for that is if you're introducing younger hens, new hens, it's a great, or if you have one that's sick and you have to quarantine them, helps easily separate them. But if you don't have to do that, what he's going to do is just leave these doors open so they have access to the entire run but more importantly, they'll also be able to free range a lot. So that's kind of why I was saying a little bit ago, the size of the coop isn't so important. It's more all the functions. Now, also the client really wanted to make sure he had this very clean look. We used as very little hardware as possible. Makes it very challenging. We had the mortise in, all the hinges. He didn't want any extra handles, so we just have a basic gate latch here. So we have these big double doors. We'll get a shot out here. Just absolutely beautiful. So inside the shed area, you have a lot of storage, and I absolutely love what our designer came up with. He built in cabinet style shelves for storage. And also right here, I'm sure you guessed it, here's where you'll gain access for your eggs. So just real clean and simple as far as the look and the function. We have our very popular food safe high density polyethylene for the nest boxes. Just like that. And again, because there are 2 hen houses, we got to have 2 separate egg boxes. So there's the look at the other side. And again, lots of shelf space, so you can put your egg basket up here, collect your eggs, whatever works for you. Also, I guess I should point out, inside the hen house, this is considered predator proof. That's why we don't have gate latches on here. Plus the screws would have been way too long. The other big thing about this coop, I guess I could pat myself on the back a little bit. Not that it's real hard. I mean, electrical, I've been doing it for a long time. It's pretty easy. But there is a lot of electric. And what I did is I just ran 1/2-inch conduit. Comes in right there through that LL, comes up through here to the switch box, and then goes out through the entire coop. There are 6 lights on the outside. Here's the junction box behind each motion sensor light, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Also, I like to go way overkill. That's just my style when it comes to, well, I guess everything, but in this case, safety. So here we have weather resistant outlets, 15 amp. You should not need anything more than that inside a chicken coop, and have a weatherproof box. And again, it's all protected with the conduit. And I got a lot of T's, LBs, LRs, just to make a nice, clean look. So that's the electric. And just like with all gate latches, very important to have that lockout cable so you don't lock yourself in. Also, before I forget, there is the Predator apron. Goes all around the entire coop, including the duck house, so that nothing can dig in underneath. Now, the windows, again, very clean and simple. The client just wanted them to be painted black. They cantilever out. And just like on our American coop, you can position it by moving that dowel. So let's say we want to have it come out a little bit further. We just move the dowels like that. So if you want the window to come out a little bit further, allow you more cross ventilation. There you go. Real easy. So right here you have the back hen house doors and the deep litter door. Same thing. We no longer do the lift off doors, mainly because customers, they loved them, but they were kind of digital on or off. So we made it where, again, you can adjust how far out they come by adjusting the dowels, but still offer tons of ventilation. But also, because they cantilever out, when it does rain, it offers protection from the rain. Speaking of which, before I forget, I keep forgetting one other major part, 2 major parts about this coop. And I have to say, because we got 3 inches, 4 inches of rain in 2 days, we loved this part of the coop. We have 3-foot overhangs, 3-foot eaves coming all the way over, and that allowed us a lot of protection. And the client did that because he wanted to protect the coop as much as possible from the rain. And also, another big part that I guess I've just been seeing so much I got used to them. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 long structural glue lambs that are I want to say they're about 3 by 12. And what these glue lambs do, well, they started as aesthetics to allow the roof support for the cantilevering for it to come out. But the thing is, me being me, I like real. They go all the way through the entire coop, and they are actually structural. So they're real. Oh, I also forgot to point out another nice thing. While I'm in here, got the weather tight box for the switch, and just got a nice simple kind of modern looking LED light. So let's take a look at the inside of the hen house. This is all very, very similar to all our coops. You got 2 double doors, and they swing out to make it real easy to get full access. Now, I would say that these doors are on the side of the hen house. You can see that we're looking into the 6-foot side, or it's 6 foot deep going in that way, and it's 4 foot this way. I would never, that just kind of happened by design. I always prefer to have the doors on the 6 foot side. So when you do go to clean it, you're only reaching in 4 foot, but you can very easily. And again, you're gonna clean it out maybe once a year, every 2 years, maybe 3 years. Pulling, sweeping motion. Just pull it right out, put it in your wheelbarrow, take it off to another compost or wherever you wanna use it. But other than that, everything else is the same in here. We got our food safe high density polyethylene for the deep litter. We got our beautiful little chicken ladders, especially for your bantams and your silkies that need extra help getting in and out. Got our perch bar there, great shot at the other side of the egg box, and that's a 3-gang. We got electric everywhere, so it's quick, easy to get to if you ever want to put in, cameras, fans, well, small fans. Chickens do not like big fans. See the back side of the 1/2-inch hardware cloth for the pop-out window. But here's the other thing. We screened off the divider between the 4x6 and the 4x4 hen house, and that does a couple things. One, it gives us that beautiful cross ventilation. Also, it continues to help them get used to that other chicken. And I suppose if we ever had to block that off, you could easily put in a curtain. You could put in a solid piece of wood if you needed to. And actually, there's another great shot of the electric over there. The other thing I want to point out is we have on this side 3 Doug fir roost bars, 4 foot each, and then over there we got 2 4-foot. So this hen house 4x6, but we have 3 4-footers, so it's still the same math. I would not recommend any more than 4 standard to large breed hens, and then of course 8 over there on the other side. 1 foot per hen. So we're gonna go ahead and lock this up. Barrel bolts here. Now for one of my favorite parts. We got a handle right there, and what that's for is you grab it and you pull out these 500-pound rated 6-foot drawers. And look at that. Large, easy, accessible storage. We got these big rails right there that the drawer slides on. And right there you see an example of 3 44-pound bales of industrial hemp. And when we go to shut it, just like that. And we have the same thing on the other side, just 4x4 because it's underneath the 4x4 hen house. We did run into a problem with the water system here, and I guess we just didn't think of it, but basically nowhere inside this run was there a normal spot to put a regular water bar heated water system. Basically, we did not have 2 freestanding vertical columns to catch the water bar. So here's what I came up with. I decided to put 1 water bar starting over here with 4 nipples and then continuing on to the other side, and that posed a huge problem because we got to keep it from freezing. So here's what I came up with, and I tested it last night. It worked perfectly. So I re-glued everything up, and I'm going to go ahead and do a test run. Pump is on. So what that's doing right now is this barrel is almost full. We got water, we got head pressure coming out of the hose bib at the bottom. It's going through a stainless steel hose, feeding the pump that, again, it will turn on when it gets close to freezing and below freezing to circulate the water that is heated in both barrels. And it pumps through the water bar, continues into the other side of the run here. We got 2 nipples here. And again, it continues. But I didn't want to circulate the water all the way back and have 2 separate systems. I thought, why can't I put the water into the barrel on this side that is heated? Here's the cord to our 1,000-watt heater. It's self-regulating. Here's a great example. if you have a heated water system, that's what it should look like. It's 3 gallons a minute. And if you can hear the pump, that's as loud as it should be. If your pump's really loud, it's got air in it. We gotta let the air out. Which also, speaking of which, if you've noticed, the shiplap lines are level. But notice we have the water bar pitched up a little bit. That is because we don't want to trap air. So what I've done is we got the water returning to this barrel, and you'll notice this big 1.5-inch overflow pipe. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna fill this barrel up, and it will start to overflow. So let's see, it's starting to go in there now. And it's gonna fill up that 1.5-inch PVC. And the idea is, because we have one pump, it's still one system. It can never overpower itself unless that ever got clogged, which hopefully it never does. We do have a screen right here. I left this off just so you guys can see it. So that's filling up, and there it is. This is the rain barrel on the other side, and that's the water returning. So you have almost 100 gallons of water, 2,000 watts of power, keeping the water warm, and the pump circulating the water from here to the other side, and it just simply comes back up the PVC and spills over there. And over here, same thing. I guess I'll just show you. We got the big 4-foot drawers, more industrial hemp. And we got the same thing here. There's the other hen house, but again, 4x4. And 2 roost bars. And of course, the other side of the egg box. The other thing I wanted to point out, you probably noticed already how easy it was for me to just kind of navigate my way around this coop. We have 3 sets of double Dutch doors. I think they're just absolutely beautiful. A little overkill, but that's what the client wanted. And that's what I love about custom. Here we have what's becoming very popular. I'm beginning to love them. I love ducks. I love duck eggs. And what we're doing is we're trying to make it as easy as possible. Just like we have with chickens, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to have ducks. So what we've invented is the duck house. And basically a duck house is going to be just like a dog house. But you still got to have easy access. So what we've done is we've added a door here and a door here. Got gate latches, so very important. We had carabiners there, especially when you're down this low. That's real easy access for a predator, so you'll be able to lock them. But also what we have here is we got a lock. We'll turn that. See if I can get this on camera. I'm gonna lift up the roof. We have 340 pounds of gas struts that lift up the roof, just like the hood on a car or a trunk on a car. But that's all there is to the duck house. We do have the high density polyethylene down there. That's what the client wanted. It's not my favorite for ducks because it can be a little bit slippery, but we do have clients that have it and they love it. Typically we do regular plywood to make it a little bit, give them more traction on their feet. You can also see we got another window there, an outlet. So if you ever wants to put a duck camera in. And also one of my new favorites, still kind of a love-hate relationship. Ducks do not have to swim in water every day, but they do need to get their faces wet. Well, ducks can be very messy, so what we've come up with is the duck dipper. So here's the other side of the duck dipper, and we use what we call, I guess it's like cattle fencing. It's a nice big gauge wire, galvanized, welded wire, and they can stick their heads through there and get to the water, but not their entire bodies making a big mess. But every now and then you're going to want to spoil your ducks and let them take a bath. And it's real easy. Just take this, lift it up, and this actually will come all the way out and they can get in there. Now, if they do that, most likely it's going to turn into a mess. And what we've done to make everyone's life easy is no one's going to want to have to start picking up a thing of water and dumping it and getting all wet and dirty. Well, technically I've designed a system so that you can drain the water and clean it without getting your hands wet. So what you'll do is pull that strainer, open up that ball valve, and you can kind of see where we trenched it. It goes all downhill, right out to there. After it's emptied, you can continue to hose it out, let the debris go down, and then close that ball valve right there. Put the strainer back in. Technically, you probably don't need the strainer. It's probably just good because there will be debris in there. I don't know. Think of it just like a kitchen sink. That's really what it is. And then you fill it back up. So that is the duck dipper. Ducks are awesome, but we don't want to make a bigger chore for ourselves, that's for sure. And the customers that have this, they absolutely love it. And it's just made having ducks that much easier. And before I forget, here's a shot of the windows. And these two can open and close, and there's pegs, there's dowels up in there on opening and closing it. Now let's step back and get a good shot of what I guess we would call the front of the coop. It's absolutely gorgeous. So we're gonna hop back in through our double Dutch doors. And there's the opening for the duck house. Also, because of that base, we are up 5.5 inches. So the client is gonna come in here, fill this up, and make for a nice run area. Also, people have been loving these. These are our new chicken ladders. And I think I might just make this standard where you can just take it off real easily with the shepherd's hook system, just like that. And we got the windows in here. Just again, offer as much ventilation as possible. There's the electric coming out. And this was fun. Went up to a T, and then we went up and over to a light. And this is just a temporary light. He actually has a custom handmade, I think he said copper light that's on its way. Won't be here for a couple more weeks. And then you'll notice the conduit continues up and over and down. That is because three-way switch. Again, we got the weatherproof box. We can turn the light off. Light is now off. And then we go over here, turn the light on, just like in a house. Real simple. Oh, and there's the, they won't come on now because it's not nighttime, but it was also very nice to have light to work at night. They're motion sensor, and the idea is primarily so when the client comes out, it just makes it really easy. He doesn't have to worry about turning lights on and off when it gets dark out here. We do have a handful of customers that have us put on motion sensor lights, and the idea is to help startle predators. I can't say if it really does. I would never say 100% it works. I think it might work in the beginning, but just like anything else, once a predator or a pest learns a habit, you know, for example, we used to put up scare owls to scare pigeons away, and a month later the pigeons are sitting on top of the owl because they learn that it's not real. But there is the newest, latest custom coop. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Before you leave us, please hit that subscribe button so you can see videos that will be upcoming. And also, if you haven't already, please visit us at carolinacoops.com. Please check us out at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call, 919-794-3989. Thanks for watching. Look at this. They're just hanging out. Hi. Well, good morning. This is awesome. They just let them out and make them just